we're off on a mission.
I guess I'm now your blasting and HydroX
and surveying
crew.
helper. So this is our access, and we are going to do a behind the scenes today video on estimating a big project. So I was contacted about 2 weeks ago to fix this pond dam right here that is failing, and I'm just going to do kind of a walkthrough of after I've already met the owner out here, of kind of my steps on what I do to figure it out and come up with the solution for the repair, and kind of a timeline of how long I think it would take. So let's get started. I'll show you the main problem. Somebody's put in a, well, the original overflow is out there. It's a old 8-inch pipe. For some reason it's like 50 feet out in the pond. Let's go over here and check it out. So venturing out here on the pond dam, as you can tell, there was a previous beaver problem. I think those have been eliminated, not sure though. The old pipe is right there, and what has happened is over time it has rusted down, and the water is now about 2.5 feet lower than where it needs to be. So what we want to do is abandon that. From a maintenance standpoint, the owner wants to remove all the trees. This pond was built in the late 60s, early 70s, from what he said. And what we're doing today, we're going to shoot some elevations to see how tall the pond dam is. Now, if a pond dam is less than 25 feet tall, the state does not have to get involved in it because it's not posing a hazard for backing up so much water. So what the plan is, we're going to try to set the laser up and shoot some elevations from top of dam to down there and see kind of what I have. But he wants to remove all the trees. As you can see, the pine trees right here are starting to die, and as they die they fall over. And for example, right here, this is a prime example. So wind has blown this tree over right here. This is what a lot of dams fail from, is say we have a big hurricane, we're getting 10-12 inches of rain that night, winds blowing 70 miles an hour, all these trees start falling down. Well, this blows over, or if we come over here, say this group of trees blow over, this blows over, well, next thing you know, you've lost the top of your dam. So the pond's already at max pool, it's full, it's flowing over everywhere, and now it has a new channel through the center because after these trees fall over, it has loosened up about 4 feet of dirt, and now this whole entire 10.5 acre pond is draining through this little ditch. And that little ditch doesn't stay little long when that much water is flowing through here, and the next thing you know, your whole dam has blown off. So that's kind of the reasoning for taking all the trees off a pond dam. Plus you can keep it maintained a whole lot better. So I've got to figure out how long it's going to take to clear all these trees off. He's got 100 acres over here that I can haul it all over here to and burn it. So overflow pipe, abandon it. And we were thinking about doing a new overflow through the dam, but let me take you down here and show you what we have over here. So Kyle's going to hold the camera for me because I took some pictures of it, and pictures do not do this justice.
No, it's not even close.
So this overflow right here is what somebody else put in here. It appears to be that's about a 4-foot diameter riser pipe, I would say, almost, might be 36. So it's like a 4-foot riser, and I think it's a 30-inch pipe going out. It is a 30-inch pipe going out. So this was originally the spillway, I guess, and then somebody was like, that pipe can't handle the amount of flow, let's put this in here. So that's fine, that's like your normal overflow, everything's peachy. Let's go back here. This is where the problem starts, right here. So this is what happens when you discharge a 30-inch pipe
We'll get a good view over here.
Yeah. This is what happens when you discharge. Now this is undermined, so let's not walk down there. So you have a 30-inch pipe. Now probably when they put this in, it wasn't, you know, obviously it wasn't pouring down this far. But when you put it on a slope of a pond dam and you get a big rain and it flows and flows and flows, you end up with a hole. My tape measure will not even go down that far, but we're at 12 feet and we're 8 feet from the bottom.
Little hole.
So there is a stay right here. I'm gonna walk over here so you can just see. I'm gonna play it safe and not even walk near that edge. How massive this hole is. Does that put it into perspective?
And I'm still like 6 feet away from the hole.
It's huge. And then what has happened, so let me get back closer so you can hear. So what's happening now is it has created this humongous Grand Canyon, as you can see.
Here, we'll get this perspective from right here.
The Grand Canyon has formed right here. And now every time it rains, all this is pouring down and just completely undermining. You can see the trees are falling over. It's probably about to the point where it's not really going to do a whole lot more. But we're now compromised of 50% of the pond dam is missing now. So the pond is actually in danger of, if there's a problem right here, this would be where it's going to bust. So what I've come up with a solution is to rip all this out, and the new overflow is going to go right here, and I'll have to explain it. But instead of completely draining the pond down, we'll walk back up here. Instead of completely draining the pond down and doing it normal I would put my overflow in the center, but to do so I would have to empty the pond. It's been here since the 60s. There's probably a lot of fish in it. I don't want to have to deal with that. This dam's a whole lot taller than normal that I do. So what I'm thinking about doing right here is lowering the pond down about another 6 feet and putting a new riser right here, stack 2 8-foot boxes right here, run my pipe down, so that'll be 8 feet below water level. And then when I get to back here, I'll come in here, clear all this out, rebuild all this back. I'll tie it into 2 more boxes and it'll stair step down another 8 feet. So that'll be 16 feet total of controlled elevation change of the water. And then I can run my pipe, I can slope it and run it out. So yeah, that's what we're figuring out today, is how many boxes need to be installed so that I can price all that out and come up with a total price right here. But the overflow itself is going to be a very expensive overflow, but there's no good way of doing this, because if I had to do it in the center, it would cost more, because I've got to drain the whole pond down, and then I've got to manage, you know, the water during the process. You get a rain, 6-inch rain, this thing fills back up. I have more control doing it right here. I can leave that old pipe over there, and that'll act as the control level, plus my siphons, and I can build a nice berm right here so that if we do get a big flood, it will not come through here. I would honestly almost rather it go over the dam than to come through here, and then I can get all this fixed back. So we're going to set the laser up, see how good of elevations we can shoot, and go from there. Kyle just couldn't stand not going down there. Could you imagine the force coming out of that pipe? How tall are you? 6'2"?
6'4".
6'4". That's,
at least it's all clay, you know.
It's clay, but that shows you the power of water as it's coming out of that pipe and free falling. I bet that is an impressive sight, even if that pipe half full. That's going to take a couple thousand yards of dirt.
Underestimate the power of water, but water built the Grand Canyon.
I mean, yeah, and this is a mini Grand Canyon right here, so. All right, well, we're coming up with solutions.
Yeah.
Other than that's going to take a lot of dirt to fill that hole back. You know what nobody's thinking about? All this dirt went somewhere. And it went that way. Let's go down here and check out where it went.
I can tell you where it went.
So I'm down here at the toe of the slope, and there is the old 8-inch ductile iron pipe, and it looks about, there's about an inch of water in the bottom of it coming out. And it just kind of goes out into the wet area down here. So what I've got to do is shoot my elevations from about right here and see exactly how tall that dam is, but it's pretty tall. It's going to be pushing the 25 feet. We're about to find out. All right, so laser's set up. We're checking grade right here on top of dam. I'm getting my elevation 5.6. It ain't rocket science, you just need to write the numbers down. 5.6 is elevation to right there. So that's height of top of dam. So I'm pretty sure this is a 25-foot stick. Laser's about 5.5 feet off the ground, so I'm not going to be able to get it's not going to be tall enough. So what I'll have to do is I'll go down here about halfway and get a grade, write that down, and then I'll calculate the difference from here, make the mark down there, and set the laser up down there and reshoot it. That way I don't have the stick out 25 feet and it's all over the place. So let's go down here and see where we can get an elevation at. Oh, we pulled up the wrong. So new laser stick likes to get hung up, and that'll happen. There we go. Now we're good. So what we got to do, drop our sunglasses, I'll get those in a minute, is try to avoid the tree branches and get our elevation as we go up into the air here. Where did it go? I heard it beep. So most likely there's a branch or something in the way. Where did it go? So that's what happens when you're 17 feet in the air, is you hit the leaves get in the way. So let's try to find it, maybe over here a little bit. Oh. All right, so right here is 17.6. So I'll mark that as my spot. Write that number down, calculate the difference. We'll set the laser up down here and check from here to pipe down there. We'll make sure we lock the leg in this time, right?
I think that's in the instruction manual.
That was in the blooper reel, wasn't it?
The unseen footage.
So we weren't filming, and somebody forgot to lock the leg in, and
who was
thing
that?
we know,
who was that? Who was that?
would
Somebody.
be me. Who also caught it as it was falling over.
You did.
With one hand.
Who was standing there watching it all?
You. You're like, we should have really filmed that. That would have been great. I don't think I set the laser up high enough. We're about to find out though.
Start spinning, baby.
Yeah. I did put it on the hillside and it's not exactly
Don't
level.
like it.
It's figuring out the levelness.
That's why we like TopCon.
That's why we like TopCon.
TopCon's been good to my family. Good to you.
Alright, so it's saying we've maxed it out. We gotta get it a little more level. So it auto levels itself and everything. You can hear it sitting there moving around, and it gets everything 100% level each direction.
See, I wanted to do this old school, but you're teaching me new things.
See, I like to do everything where I can do it all myself. So, you can see, it's ready to go now.
Look at that.
See, it was a little bit off, that's why it took so long to figure that out. But here we go. 6.6. So that's, get your little trusty dusty book here. So 15, let's turn that around so we don't have to listen to that. So 15.6 to 17.6 is going to be our elevation drop from the first stand, and then we'll calculate 6.6 to whatever this is down here, and we'll add those numbers together and those numbers together, and that'll give us the grand total of how tall this dam is. I'm sweating because it is 105 heat index out here.
You got to get out of the air conditioning more.
I am out of the air conditioner.
Oh, not from what I see.
See what's happening, don't you?
Up she goes.
Up she goes. We're pretty tall. Grade rod doesn't get pulled out that far very often. Oh.
Ugh. You start to look like you work on a utility crew with how tall that thing's gotten. God.
Ooh.
Yeah.
19.4.
Wow.
So now we write that number down and we calculate those distances, and we'll know exactly how tall this pond dam is from bottom of slope to top of dam. So we've done our calculations. From where we started at to midway was 12 feet of elevation change down. When we reset the laser up to where it's at now, that grade to where we ended up down here at toe of slope was 12 feet 8/10, which comes up to 24 feet 8/10, which is just barely under the 25 feet range that we have to stay under. So ideally we're perfectly good to work on this pond. If we were too close, I could literally shave the top of that dam down about 6 inches, and that would give me the extra buffer that I need to be able to do this project. So I'm happy with it. Now I can tell the customer that, and he can make a decision on whether he wants to handle this himself or get the state involved.
You know, Chris, utility guys carry like a 300-foot tape on their trucks.
I had one of those in the other truck, but guess what? We
might have forgot that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just minor things. You know, the good thing is this will do the same thing. It's just going to involve multiple processes.
Actually, it won't be that bad. It's only 2 pulls.
I mean, regardless, you still got to walk the whole 300 feet through all the bushes and everything.
You good?
So we're going to go with, all right here. So that's more than 40 feet of pipe, which is weird.
How much is it?
About 46 foot of pipe. I feel like we're going to need about 100 and at least 100, possibly 120. So to build this slope back, all right. To build this slope back, I've got to fill all this back into probably 20 feet past that tree right there. So if you want to hold that somewhere right there.
Let me get over there.
That was 60. High-tech measuring right here.
Hey, it works.
It works. All right, that's 80. That's 100. 120 will do it. That'll get my pipe. That'll get my pipe to about where this tree is in the bottom right there. And if it's just a channel after that, we're good, because really the toe of our slope ends right there. So if we can get all that built back, the structure of the dam is put back, and this would just be
what it
ditch.
is.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. I mean, it can't get but so much worse, and it's not like it's really affecting anything. Once you get that problem away from the dam, it's not going to. Plus, that pipe will be down there at grade, so it can't wash out any lower, because when you dump it out on grade, it can't go any lower than what the water back there is. It's not going to wash it out 10 feet deep and then come back up to water level. It just kind of neutralizes.
What it is.
I mean, the power of the water
Equalizes
it. Yeah, that's a good term. Equalizes
See?
the flow. Well, that's what we got.
Yeah,
That's a mess right there.
that is.
What's really going to be cool, I mean, I got to take all of these trees out right here.
Yeah.
That's going to be impressive when I get that clear and I park that 220 right there.
In the bottom, yeah.
In the bottom.
That's gonna look
And
awesome.
that pipe is at the knuckle of the darn boom. Pretty crazy what the power of water can do.
Amazing.
So that kind of gives you an idea of what all kind of goes behind the scenes on looking at a project like this. So let's sum it up again. Abandon the old 8-inch overflow that's out there in the pond. We'll end up filling that with concrete. Wants to clear all the trees off the pond dam. So what I've got to do is figure out how long it's going to take me to do that, and then haul it out here. He owns 100 acres right here of clear cut that I can get all my dirt from. I can go out there, but I've also got to factor in, you know, if I need 2 acres to get deep dirt from, I've got to figure in stumping and clearing all that as well. Then I can burn everything up there, get my dirt, bring down here, fix all this. You saw we kind of calculated the elevation, so I know how tall the pond dam actually is. And we kind of measured for the new pipe right here. With those elevations and what I measured off of that pipe, I know that 2 boxes here, slope on the pipe, 2 boxes there, and then slope on the pipe going out will make that transition that I need to make. So what I'll do, I'll calculate all that. I have to go get price quotes for all that, for the boxes, for the pipe, and then I know it's going to take me X amount of days to be able to dig this out, install the new pipe, get my dirt, bring down here, fix all that back, and all that. So that's pretty much the grand scheme of this project. It's a pretty good project, but it's really not that overcomplicated. And then at the end, bring some dirt down here and regrade the pond dam so that he can keep it maintained. I'm going to keep the slope like it is. You can definitely mow that with like a skid steer and a brush cutter and or a tractor. You'll just have to go up and down, but that is the whole grand scheme, is to get it where it is maintainable when I am done. And then at the end, we'll end up seeding and strawing everything to stabilize it. And for some reason, the elevation becomes an issue or something, we always have the option of cutting down the top of the dam. It will lower the pond some, but you gotta find a happy medium. If we can lower the pond down a foot and cut the dam down a foot to get within the threshold we need, that is a totally doable option. But from what I could calculate right now, we are within our limits to be able to work on this.